We'll have a brief presentation from our county attorney, Mr. Doug Batchelor. Doug?
I've been asked by the Commission to make some comments tonight relative to Magnolia+Trace, to try to explain that situation as best that we can. I'm listening to a lot of the discussion, and I have not heard that much of it, but what I have heard, I have been a little concerned about the confusion as to the terms that people use as to what they think this project is, and I want to try to straighten some of those out. And so, first of all, I want to address what we are talking about. And we're talking about affordable housing, which is defined in the industry as decent, safe housing for people who earn less than, in this case, 60% of the area median income, which everybody uses the AMI abbreviation for. Low-income tax credits. These are incentives that the federal government provides to individuals and corporations to invest in affordable housing. These investors receive savings on their income tax liabilities in exchange for investing their funds to build these affordable housing developments. This is the most widely used and most productive and most successful affordable housing program in the country. The tax credits go to these people to use to pay against their income taxes. And they invest this money and don't otherwise earn interest on the money. They do get returns in the end, basically, when the rental period of the project ends and the houses are sold. This particular development is an R3 subdivision. The zoning category for this property is and has been since 1979 R3, which means residential. And that means, in this case, the R3 subdivision is lots of about 7,000 square feet each. There are a number of R3 residential subdivisions all over Columbia County. You can ride around and see them, particularly in the areas out west on Columbia Road and down around the Harlem Grovetown Road. There are several there. So this subdivision will not be any different than those. The houses that are going to be constructed here, of which there will be 40 some odd, cost, I'm telling you, 40 some odd, but that's okay. They're fine, you know. The houses there have a hard cost of $130,000 and a total cost, when you take in land cost and all the other soft costs, of $190,000 per house. They are 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom homes. The development is privately owned and privately financed to the tune of $9.6 million. It is not a county project, and it is not rent assisted, and the grounds are to be maintained by the owner. Relative to the sale of the houses, at the end, under the agreement that the owner has with the Department of Community Affairs and their agreement for the tax credit incentives, that at the end of 15 years, the subdivision owner has the option of offering the houses for sale. And from the beginning, these houses, there is a subdivision plat recorded, and each one of these houses is on a separate lot, just like any other subdivision. The things that we are not talking about, this is not subsidized housing. The development is not funded in whole or in part with government funding. The entire project is funded entirely by the private investment that I mentioned a minute ago. This is not Section 8 housing. Currently, the developer has 150 similar housing units around the state of Georgia. And out of these 150 units, there are only 3 vouchers involved, which are sometimes referred to as Section 8 vouchers. By law, rental property owners are required to accept vouchers when a person is otherwise qualified. However, vouchers are very hard to get, and many people have to wait years to get them. And as you can see from the experience, there's going to be little or no vouchers involved in this project. The housing is not subsidized. I mean, the rental payments. The rent this is not a rent-assisted project. Residents are required to pay their own full rental payments. There are no government contributions except in the case, a rare case, of a voucher being presented. With regard to some of the legal issues, this is not a county project. The county has no control over the property other than the county ordinances that apply to all citizens in the county. The state of Georgia cannot refuse to allocate income tax credits where public opposition appears to be the basis for doing so. This is a violation of the fair housing laws, and such finding would subject the state and the county to expensive sanctions. There was a case in 2003 down in Pooler, Georgia, near Savannah, where the city found that out in a very tough way. The city of Pooler sought about trying to reject plans for a 68-unit affordable housing complex there because it feared that there would be an influx of undesirable people. They were sued by the Justice Department, and they wound up being fined $425,000 in housing credits and $20,000 in cash. $425,000 in housing credits had to do with future development in the county, how much in the city, and how much money they had to put in. A similar suit was just settled in Peachtree City in March of 2011 when the developer who was seeking approval to build an apartment complex for the elderly was denied that by the city, and after a lawsuit, the matter was settled, and the city then permitted the project to be built and go forward. So the Fair Housing Act plays a big role in this, and in what role, if any, that local governments can play. And if you get into a situation where you're basing it on inappropriate bases like discrimination, the cities are, in this case the county, would wind up in the end paying a very large bill for legal fees and fines related to it. My report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Baxter. We'll now hear from some various people in opposition to this program.